us iRacing fans from around the world. Welcome to the live broadcast brought to you by KMA TV. I'm Scott Pollock, your announcer for the evening. This is Friday Night Flights brought to you by Blaze Pizza. Greg McClendon bringing us our race tonight at Friday Night Flights here in Talladega. It'll be a great night out here. Got great weather as usual, sitting at 75 degrees down on that track, 65 degrees for the air temperature. Got the usual gang hanging out with us tonight here on this Friday night. We've got Wally Tierheimer joining us out here tonight, as well as Edward Bray, as well as Travis Browder. Richard Brose joining us out here tonight as well. Drivers are running their qualifying laps as we speak. Having some additional background music I'm hearing. Trying to get that there figured out. Alrighty, there we go. Got it figured out now. Alrighty, qualifying here at Talladega, extremely, well, I think it's extremely important. Others may not, but I tell you what, here for 100 laps, these drivers are going to have to keep in mind that they are in for the long haul tonight here at Talladega. Going to have to be careful. We're going to have to be doing some green flag pit stops out here tonight. Drivers are looking at about a 30-lap fuel load. Under normal circumstances, going in for 3 pit stops here at Talladega. Qualifying is beginning to wrap up. Travis Browder usually qualifies very well out here at Talladega. We'll see how he does tonight. Donald Stewart joining us tonight, supporting the Boston Red Sox, his favorite baseball team. Richard Brose in the house with us as well. Big shout out there to Richie B. Ben Gear, Freeman Kelly, Robert Chipman coming out of retirement for tonight's race. As qualifying is wrapping up and drivers are taking their placements out there on that grid, taking a look at our qualifying field. Sitting out there in front, we do have Richard Brose in second place and Sean Molchek out there leading us off tonight. Sean Molchek with a 53.294. Richard Brose sitting in second with a 53.319. Sitting in third position, Wally Tierheimer. Big shout out there to Wally, side by side with the number 146 of Jeff Renz. Rounding out our top 5 is Kenneth Wright. Big shout out there to Kenneth Wright in the number 16 tonight. Joining us in position 6 is Donald Sadusky. Position 7 belonging to the number 66 of Edward Bray. Position 8 belonging to Ronald Klein. Position 9, David Whiteside. Position 10, Everett with Fast Lane Racing. Big shout out there to Everett. Always a fun guy to race with. Position 11 belonging to Paul Cohen. with the Yosemite Sam paint job. That's pretty good looking paint job right there. Paul Cohen, position 11. Robert Riley sitting back there in position 12. Sitting in position 13, Sean W. Brown, side by side with Travis Browder. Thought Travis Browder would have qualified a little bit better. Actually chose not to qualify. Sitting back in position 15, invalid. Moving on back through the field. Craig Kenny sitting back in 17th. Big shout out there to Craig Kenny, side by side with Freeman Kelly, position 18. 19, we do have Donald Stewart. Sitting back in 20th, we have Darren Reason. And Kevin Scott Nelson sitting in 21st. Near the rear of the field, we have Lee Ryerson Jr., Robert Chipman, Joel Guy, David Brown, invalid, and Ben Gear, invalid as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, up to the front line as these drivers do get ready to kick off 100 laps here at Talladega. Starts and restarts always done on leader's discretion. A lot of responsibility up here on this front line. Richard Brose up there in a very good spot tonight. Starting second place. Wally Terheimer down on the inside lane, and the pace car is off, and there goes Richard Brose, kind of like hanging back a little bit. All righty, they waited for that green flag to go. A lot of drivers opting to get a little bit of a jump, but not tonight. Very clean side-by-side start. Sean Molchek down on that inside lane, side-by-side with Wally Terheimer. Or Wally Terheimer down on the inside, side-by-side with Richard Brose and the number 146, Jeff Renz. Number 16, Kenneth Wright. Going to have some confusion out here between Ken and Jeff. Their preferred numbers are 146, so Kenneth is actually a little bit out of his territory tonight in the number 16. Richard Brose and Jeff Renz in the 146 coming down into that inside lane. That will leave Donald Sadusky high and dry up on that outside lane. Going to get a little bit of push from the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Sean and Donald making something happen, but Sean coming back down in front of the number 17. Richard Brose up strong to the rear end of Sean Molchek. Donald Sadusky out on that front line. Making it up there to that P1 position. Richard Brose holding very steady and strong in the number 87, Richard B. Truck. Hey, big shout out there to Richie B., our Monday night sponsor. Greg McClendon, our Friday night sponsor. Unfortunately, Greg could not join us tonight. Hope he's out there watching on the KMA TV chat board. Donald Sadusky did qualify in 6th position tonight. Has already worked his way up to that P1 position. Richard Brose qualified second, sitting in second. Sean Molchek qualified first. Right now in a very solid position. Richard Brose on that inside lane having a good time. Big shout out there to the fans in the KMA TV chat. Alrighty, guys, I am finally lined up. I got the chat window open. I was riding blind there for a minute, and just a little bit trying to do like two things at once, three things at once. And I tell you what, these drivers out here tonight, now that I got my stuff together, now that I am full mode, all right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are racing, we are broadcasting, we are chatting it up right now. I am good to go. Looking at the number 76. Oh, three wide action back there with Sean Brown. They're already going three wide here on lap 3 of 100. Wally Tierheimer in the middle, side by side with the number 171. Wally Tierheimer letting number 65 down, but not quite so sure that Sean wants to get down. There's a lot of gap there between Wally Tierheimer and the number 51, Yosemite Sam. Back off, Paul Cohen. Sean Brown riding the track a little bit high there for the likings of Wally Tierheimer. Wally Tierheimer, I tell you what, folks, if the 65 keeps leaving that door wide open, Wally Tierheimer is going to just run right through that door. Wally Tierheimer backed it off just a hair. Number 65 of Sean Brown, very tight up there onto the number 171 of David Whiteside. David Whiteside pushing on the number 66 of Edward Bray, side by side with the number 146 of Jeff Renz. Alrighty, big shout out to Becky. One more time, one more button. Becky saves me on. Thank you, Becky Whitmer. Tell you what, oftentimes I don't know what I would do without Becky out there checking me and rechecking me. Appreciate the help out there, Becky. I do have good news, Becky. We did figure out what the situation is with the sound there on the beginning of our broadcast, and guess what? I'm going to be upgrading my internet up to 75. You heard it right, 75 upload speeds, which is going to be pretty darn awesome. That'll happen in about 2 weeks. Took a lot of us a long time to figure out exactly what was going wrong with that, but we have got it figured out. Up Everett Lane, pushing into the rear end of the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Everett running with fast lane. Ronald Klein running with RTK Motorsports. Big shout out there to Ronald Klein. They now set up on Facebook. He's also going to be helping out KMA TV with the build of a new PC set to hold its debut there on June 3rd. Really excited about that. Really excited about the team thing going on out here. All the teamwork it's going to take to get us fully up and running to 100%. A lot of guys really coming together to make things happen here at KMA TV. And right now, we're looking at Richard Brose trying to make something out here happen with his buddies over there at Excellent Velocity Racing. Right now he is riding up to the rear end of Sean Molchuk side by side with Kenneth Wright. A nice looking truck out there being driven by the number 66 of Edward Bray. Edward Bray running forward, KMA Racing and Black Talon Racing. Holding solid position right now, started 7th, is currently in 7th. Not really seemingly to be in too much of a hurry right now, and he's got plenty of time out here to get the job done tonight. Lap 8 of 100 for lead, changes 0 cautions. We ran some pit parties out here, folks, tonight during practice. And I tell you what, if these drivers were smooth, we saw 4 wide out there. Everett Lane coming down track just a little bit, side by side there with them at the 15. side-by-side action there with Richard Brose. Richard Brose up there side-by-side with the number 19. 24 drivers out here starting this field tonight. Oftentimes these speedways, they can be a crapshoot. So far, so good out here. Richard Brose trying to leave his first lap, dropping down. Donald Sledesky side by side with Richard Brose for that race lead. 76 Ronald Klein in third place, Everett Lane in fourth. I want to give a big shout out there to my good friend Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer not able to join us out here tonight. Having dinner with the other side of the family is the message I got. But hey, I tell you what, I do want to give a big shout out there to Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer with GW Graphics, our video guy. All those silent commercials that we're having to endure up there at the beginning. Oh, big warping there. Whoa. I believe that was Richard Brose having a little internet issue right there. Nonetheless, Gary Whitmer and GW Graphics are the guys behind the scenes for the videos. And again, you can get our internet uploaded here at KMA TV upgraded. Silent commercials will be stopped. Pretty proud that we found that out today. Kind of a simple solution. But nonetheless, Ronald Klein out there in front leading his fourth lap. Everett Lane side by side. Everett Lane has led one lap. Driver's doing a great job out here tonight. This is our final Friday Night Fight race. And we still broadcasting because this is the last official series race that we are running. This has been a 20-week series, actually. Long series. But a big shout out there to my good friend Greg McCrimmon at Blaze Pizza. Starting back on Friday, June 6th, I do believe. We're going to be running 15 more tracks. Only one super speedway though. These guys out here, they have requested that we take them off of the speedway and get them more onto the intermediates, the 1.5s, the 1.0s, the 3/4s. And we'll see if that request comes back to haunt them. We saw how Martinsville was. When we were at Martinsville, we did dirt. 13 cautions. Richmond, we did have 9. So it'll be very interesting to see how these drivers are going to react to our upcoming series. Ryan Kuhn, regular here with KMA Racing, actually said the series looked sexy. So we'll see how sexy it is because they're on June 5th. Caution is out. Looking at the 171 of David Whiteside. Not seeing any issues yet. Well, oh, there it is right there. All right, we're going to back that right up. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Contact between the number 57 and 171. We're going to talk about it factually. We're going to talk about the reality of what happened here. Looking at the number 57, minding his own business. 171, minding his own business. While he goes to give a little bit of a love tap. And right there, ladies and gentlemen, watch that contact. A little bit of contact right there. And round goes number 171. 3 other drivers involved with it. The number 224, the number 19, and the number 26. Not a terribly big wreck. These drivers are given a reset vehicle. They've got one backup vehicle out there. I don't think they're going to have to use it, though. It was not that terrible of an event right there. This will put Ronald Klein, Donald Sledesky, Everett Lane, Richard Brose, and Kenneth Wright, our top 5. Now the question is, here we are on lap 14 of 100. We are halfway through that fuel load. Will Ronald and Donald retain that 1 and 2 spot? Or are they going to head into pit road? Decisions, and questions. Becky Whitmer out there rooting on the number 66 of Edward Bray. As they come around pit row, indeed, Ronald Klein, Donald Sadusky, Richard Brose, Kenneth Wright. Well, hey, the entire gang is actually heading off into pit row, Wally included, Ben Gear, Robert Chitman. One driver staying out there on that track, Travis Browder into pit row. Richard Brose will be in a race off of pit row with Sean Molchek. What a tear out of pit row right there by Richie B. How about it, Richie B? Have you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm glad I got some sound. There was something wrong with my sound card, Scott, so I was able to get some monitor sound. That's all I have right now.
Alrighty, well, I tell you what. For our fans, ladies and gentlemen, this is Richie B. He finally got some mic issues fixed, and this is what Richie B really sounds like. So, Richie B, it's all yours. Tell the fans about Richie B's Pizza.
Oh, I was really blessed today. I was super busy. Got a nice compliment on my Facebook from a gentleman who's a musician that travels the States, and he just put a nice compliment out there for me. If anybody's on my Facebook and wants to read it, it's there. I just take it day to day, passionate. I never stop. I love what I do, and I love racing with KMA. And I'm just trying to find an opening to where I can stay consistent and stay clean, and hopefully be in the end to do something.
Alrighty, copy that. Alright, well, good luck to you, Richie B. You're looking pretty good so far.
Alright, Scott, thank you.
Richie B out there running with Max Velocity Racing, taking a look at our race leader. How about it, Mr. Donald? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir, Scott. How you doing, sir?
Doing very good. How are you, sir?
Just a little under the weather, that's all. I'm feeling too good the past couple of days.
Alrighty, copy that. I know you've had a rough week out there with personal stuff. Nonetheless, talk to me about your night. So far, a pretty good run, halfway through a fuel load. You're up here into the front line. What do you do now?
I'm trying to keep this Ryan Sadusky Memorial truck up here. Keep it up front here, at least in the top 5, so I have something for him at the end. So we'll just see what happens.
Alrighty, anybody you want to give a big shout out to?
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to John Hendricks for painting this truck. I think he did a wonderful job on it. KMA TV, you, Scott, for putting this show on for the fans and all the fans out there.
Alrighty, copy that. Big shout out there to you, Donald. We did the Ryan Sadusky Memorial Race. It was a big hit. A lot of views. Big shout out there to you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Donald Sadusky will be restarting side by side with the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein out here supporting autism with our TK Motorsports. Drivers are lined up, double foul. Lap 16 of 184 to go. 9 lead changes, 1 caution, totaling 3 laps. Off to a very good start out here tonight in the final race of the Friday Night Flight Series. Brought to you by Blaze Pizza. Donald Sadusky started 6, restarting on that pole position. Sean Molchek started out there on that pole, and he is in 6th position, still in a very good spot. One more time by, these drivers will be off to Green Flag Racing next Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Very special event brought to you by Lee Ryerson. Lee Ryerson out here in the number 9, started 23rd, is in position 18. Mr. Ryerson will be putting on a Fighting Depression race next Saturday. That will be a live broadcast. We'll have Cody up on those cameras. Joel Guy will actually be substituting for me because I will be getting my daughter married next Saturday night. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be here or not. I might come in at the rear end of that race, but nonetheless, Lee Ryerson bringing us the Fighting Depression race next Saturday. Special event brought to you by KMA TV. Drivers getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. We'll be taking lap 18 of 100. Big shout out there to GW Graphics. Playing on the phone rather than eating his dinner. I agree with Mom Whitmer, but hey, we're glad to have him out there on that KMA TV chat. Big shout out there to GW. He was part of the process we were having with finding out exactly what was wrong with our sound issues. And I tell you what, folks, finding that information out today, I feel rejuvenated. I got a sneak peek at the new Powerhouse computer I will be getting on June 3rd, and I feel rejuvenated. And oftentimes you need that. So a big shout out there to the fans, big shout out there to the team, big shout out there to Ronald Klein, and away we go. Takes these trucks about a half a lap, 3/4 of a lap to get up to full speed. Donald Sadusky right now, 144, and on the rides, 149. Coming around, turn 2, entering onto that backstretch. Looking at speeds of 158. Here comes Ronald Klein, though. Ronald Klein, Richard Brose making something happen out here tonight. Ronald Klein is clear. Ronald Klein is Beacon. Donald Sadusky 3 wide below the apron. Donald Sadusky below that apron. Ronald Klein, whoa, good thing. Ronald Klein let him come up. Wow, had to catch my breath on that one. That was a big move there by Ronald Klein. We are still 3 wide at the front. Sean Molchek 3 wide there with the number 87 of Richard Brose. Everett fast lane. Staying all over. Contact with Richard Brose. That'll bring out a caution every time. Alright, we are going to look at some contact up here. I do know that Richard Brose. Oh, right there it is. Right there it is. Up there. We're going to get those cameras back up there onto the number 33 of Robert Riley. And we're going to back it up. Right there was the contact, folks. All right, let's walk through this. We got 3 wide action here with the number 16, 33, and the number 87. 33 up a little bit. 33 up, and the number 87 possibly down. All right, nonetheless, the number 33 being driven by Robert Riley, making contact with the number 87 of Richard Brose, and then back across into the number 18 and the 146. Sean Brown caught up in it as well. Unfortunate break there for Maximum Velocity. Robert Riley, Richard Brose, and Travis Crowder all running for their Max Velocity. Unfortunate break there. Back up to Live Racing. Donald Stewart, Ronald Klein, and Everett Lane sitting back there in position 3 underneath our second caution of the night on lap 20. A little bit of driver error right there involving the number 33 of Robert Riley and the Richard Brose in the number 87, bringing out our second caution of the night. No drivers have fallen a lap down as of yet. Robert Chipman in pit road getting repaired in 22nd position. Paul Cohen on his way out of pit row, remaining on that lead lap. How about it, Paul Cohen? Have you got a copy?
I sure do, Scott. How you doing?
Doing good. I'm smiling. I'm taking a look at this silly truck you got working on. You got Yosemite Sam out there on it. Talk to us about that truck.
Well, the actual sponsor is Wet Paints. They're a company that supplies speaker systems and lighting, you know, for all sorts of stage shows.
All right, it looks very sharp looking at Looney Tunes, and back off on the rear end of it. So far, so good for you. You started 11th, you're in 20th, you've fallen down a couple of spots. Talk to me about your thoughts out here tonight on the Speedway.
Well, the only thing you can do is hope the guy in front of you doesn't make the mistake. You know, it's a matter like just now. It's just the big one finally came along.
All righty, copy that. All right, well, good luck to you out there, Paul Cohen, and nice looking truck.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Talk to you later.
All righty, Paul Cohen out there looking very sharp. Ronald Klein sitting in position 2, Donald Sadusky up there in position 1. Ronald Klein, have you got a copy, sir?
Go ahead, Scott.
All righty, wanted to give you a big shout out. We've been talking about you a little bit up here on the KMA TV chat, and the generosity of RTK Motorsports going to help KMA Racing and KMA TV achieve bigger and better things. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk to us about RTK and your real life experiences out there on the dirt tracks.
RTK Motorsports is my dirt track racing company, so to speak, and I've carried that over to the online simulation. Missed the dirt track, that's for sure, but due to real life right now, I'm unable to do that. So I'm letting this cure my itch.
Cure the itch of the dirt track. Alrighty, well, I tell you what, I want to give you a big shout out there too for the generosity. Now, looking at the paint job, obviously my painters have not updated, and I'm seeing you in the autism awareness, but nonetheless, I know that's not what you're driving, that is what I'm seeing, but nonetheless, autism, a great thing to support. And you're not only out there supporting KMA TV and KMA Racing and RTK, you're supporting some real life stuff out there, and I want to give you a big shout out and a thank you, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Scott. And it's a pleasure to race in KMA. Pleasure to help out. I'm glad I can be a part of you guys' great league.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Scott.
Ronald Klein out there behind Donald Sadusky. Everett Lane sitting in that third position. Always love getting Everett Lane up here in the booth. He is just one of the funniest, happiest guys. Ain't got a care. He might even be a hippie for all I know. How about it, Everett?
Hey, Scotty, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing very good. How's your race out here? I see you let a lap.
Oh, yeah, we let it lap, having some fun. Got a little warm there. Had to back up a little bit, but having fun tonight.
All righty. Now, we run Talladega so much with so many guys, but yet still it's the same guys. Have you got anybody in particular you're going to try to get hooked up with?
Well, if you look behind the old 24 Chevrolet, you'll see two other guys, which would be Sean and Kenneth, that are running fast lane trucks tonight. So we're going to try to keep these three hot rods up front tonight and see if we can't put one of them in victory lane.
All righty, copy that. Now, we are switching camera angles as we speak, and, you're right. Fast lane, and the fast lane. Where is the fast lane here at Talladega?
Well, wherever the line's moving. It could be in the middle, it could be down low, and I don't think you want to be in the third lane tonight. That could be trouble, but
you guys were doing 4 wide in practice. You were 4 wide.
I've seen some of that going on. That's what I was saying. If we need to get to the third line toward the end of the race to get to the front, we'll do it, but we'll save that to the end.
All right, copy that. Hey, big shout out there to the guys over there, fast lane.
Thank you, Scott.
All righty. That'll be interesting. All right, so what do we got up here, folks? We've got Donald Sadusky up there with KMA Racing. We've got Ronald Klein with KMA Racing and RTK Motorsports side by side. They got the number 24 in third position side by side with the number 16 and the number 15 in fourth and fifth. Interesting situation there for fast lane racing. Going to take you right up the front end of the number 15 of Sean Molchek on the rear chase on this restart. Going to try to give you as much of the driving experience as we can. Riding on the tail end of fast lane racing. Can they go fast? Shout out there to GW. Talking about no dessert. Alrighty, well, here is your dessert. Your dessert is the after party here on KMATV GW. Big shout out to Mom and Son. Hoping to see Gary out there on the track tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we are running Auto Club. Taking a break from the Super Speedway and just going to run a Speedway Auto Club. Fun 2-mile track. Actually caution free oftentimes. Alright, we are back and away goes. Fast lane. Ronald Klein up there in the front lane.
Green flag.
Listening to the pull of those engines as they do approach. Turn 1 at 141 miles per hour. Heating her up. Jumping in car camera with Wally Tierheimer. Wally Tierheimer pushing onto the rear end of Edward Gray with Black Talon racing. Got that fast lane, number 16. Car inside, up there in the front. Ronald Klein dropping down to that inside lane. We are at 185 miles per hour. Coming around. Turn 3 and 4. Get ready to come around that dog leg. Wally Tierheimer doing a great job letting in, letting out, upwards of 191 miles per hour with fast lap. Possible trouble. Taking a look at the number 76 of Ronald Klein. He is on Spotlight, and oh, right there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There is that infamous bumper hook. Now we're going to walk right through this. Everett Lane, number 24, Ronald Klein, number 76. Coming forward, and the door was open. I don't think Everett actually even meant to go into that door. I think Everett Lane was lifting off, but not able to lift off quite in time. Tagging onto the rear end of the number 76. But what an awesome job there by the number 76, able to keep the RTK Autism Silverado out of harm's way. Third caution brought out by the infamous ooh, don't touch me there. Everett Lane getting into the rear end of Ronald Klein. Didn't mean to do it. It happens. It's racing. It's a speedway. It's a bad bumper hook situation. Not much you can do about it. Unless that will bring out our third caution of the night. 11 lead changes. Laps 25 of 100 in the books. 75 to go. Sean Mulchuk, Everett Lane, Kenneth Wright. We've got a fast lane racing situation. Positions 1, 2, and 3. That will put Wally Tierheimer up to 4th and Robert Riley sitting in 5th position. Now, for everybody did pit underneath caution, so the fuel load is not going to be on that 30-lap cycle anymore. This is where the strategy is going to take place. Sean Mulchuk, Everett Lane staying out. Kenneth Wright, Wally Tierheimer staying out. Interesting situation. Let's go talk to Wally about it. How about it, Wally? Have you got a copy, sir?
I do, Scott. How are we tonight?
Doing very good. Explain for our fans a little bit just what happened there with the pitting situation, because we're noticing that a lot of guys like you and the fast lane fellers, they're staying out. A lot of guys going into pit row, so the whole strategy, the whole 30-lap thing, it's out the window now. Talk to us about that.
Well, yeah, I think we pitted about 10 laps ago or so. I still have more than 3/4 of a tank. There's no need to pit right now because I pitted the first pit, that one at 17 or whatever that happened. Normally you'd go like 10 and then 30, 30, 30. But this time I think that they staggered a little bit more, a little bit to go in right then. So I went in before, so I didn't need to go in that time.
Alrighty, copy that. Now, we did see a little bit of difficulty up there when the number 33 got into one of the teammates. How is Max Velocity holding up today? We still got Richie B out here with us? We got Travis out here somewhere.
Travis, Bob, and I are the only ones in here for representing tonight. Richie got a little bit in a 4-wide situation, and he was a little bit got discombobulated with what was going on there, and people saying certain things, and he thought that he was a little frustrated. So sometimes we take this a little bit serious, as you know. We get frustrated, and you got to step back a little bit once in a while, take a couple deep breaths, and say, "This is what we do for fun." So, he kind of at the heat of the moment said, "All right, man, I got wrecked and in towing," so he was gone. So,
all right, well, I tell you,
it is one of those things that your emotions run hot, and it's just like your motors, man. When you're pushing, your emotions run hot too.
Well, and you got a right attitude right there, Wally. And the main thing that the iRacing community has over the real life, and this is as real as it gets, with the exception of, Kurt Busch. He gets to do it 3 times a week at best. Well, here at iRacing, we get to do it 7 nights a week. So you're absolutely right. We do have to keep it into perspective.
Right, absolutely. And everybody out here, I got mad respect for everyone out here that I drive with, that I drive against. These guys, I'm sitting here looking at 3 trucks with Fastlane on the back of their spoilers, and I respect these guys. And I got 2 guys behind me with the Maximum Velocity logos on their cars or trucks, and so we got us, and then you got all the KMA guys that got a lot of respect for everyone out here, and I want everyone to know that you see a lot of you see a lot of competition out here, and it is just that, it's competition. We all need to remember that. It's a nice racing community.
All right, copy that. We appreciate your time, Wally.
Thanks, Scott.
Alrighty, it does appear I am dropping my stream, darn it. Sean Molchek up in front, Everett Lane. Might actually have to call Comcast tomorrow and have them go on and upgrade my internet tomorrow. It does appear my frame rates are coming back up, still in the red though. Drivers are lining up side by side. Hopefully it will correct itself. Sean Molchek side by side with Everett Lane. 3 cautions, totaling 12 laps, 11 lead changes, lap 28 of 100. Friday Night Flights brought to you by Blaze Pizza. Drivers are lined up. Double file. Wanting the big shout out there to PAD, People Against Distracted Driving. We are coming up on our monthly race for PAD that will be on June 4th, Sunday, June 4th. Be sure to check out PAD at padd.org. Mickey Clemmy Foundation. Sean Molchek, Fastlane Racing, side by side with Fastlane Racing, the number 24 of Everett Lane, and the number 16 of Kenneth Wright. Wally Tierheimer on the outside, odd man out, but he has got Robert Riley and Travis Browder in position 5 and 6, so Maximum Velocity owning 4th, 5th, and 6th. Edward Bray and the number 78 of Donald Stewart sitting back in positions 7th and 8th. 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 7th and 8th fully expect Sean, Everett, and Kenneth to do everything they can to stick together. Still got 71 laps to get out and get her done tonight. Plenty of time to get the job done. Rolling steady at 80 miles per hour. Starts and restarts are completely up to Sean Molchuk. Going green this time by. Sean Molchuk has led 7 laps. Everett Lane leading 2. Ronald Klein leading 7. Donald Sadusky leading 13. Away goes. Fast lane racing out there on that front line. Sean Molchuk, Everett Lane. Huge gap between Wally Tierheimer and Everett Lane. Give me a room for Wally Tierheimer to come down. Wally Tierheimer opting to get up there and give some help there to Everett Lane. Travis Browder in the number 18. He gets the boost. Max Velocity actually going 3 long on the outside lane. So right now we've got a maximum velocity versus a fast lane racing on that outside and inside lane. Molchuk up there to the front line, with Wally Tierheimer in position 2. Patience will be key at this point in time. Wally Tierheimer getting up there to that second place position. He's just got to hang on. He's got to be safe. Got to trust his teammates up here. Everett Lane has drifted back to 5th position. Paul Cohen in the number 51 here, sitting Sam. And the inside lane, sitting in position 7, Edward Bray on that outside lane. Edward Bray's in good shape. He's got the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart, Boston Red Sox. Edward Bray giving plenty of distance. Does not want to get onto the rear end of the number 33. Too tight. That is what causes those bumper hooks to come at the rear end of Donald Stewart here with Edward Bray. Plenty of room right there as well. Now putting number 51, Paul Cohen. Number 20 of Ben Gear. Looking sharp out there tonight. Ben Gear straight at 27, working his way up. Right side in the 171 supporting that on that Chevy Silverado. Being pushed on by the number 91 of Joel Guy. Joel Guy actually in a very good position. Starting 25th is in position 15. Big shout out there to Martha Tierheimer. Coming in to take a look at Wally and Martha. Well, Wally Tierheimer is sitting out here in the front row. Wally Tierheimer in a very good spot up here, side by side with Travis Browder. Nothing but clean air out there in front of the Wally Meister. Wally Tierheimer being loaded on by Mom Tierheimer, side by side with his teammate Travis Browder. Travis and Wally Tierheimer. That Carl Jr. number 57 taking a little bit of a run off in that inside lane. Wally Tierheimer leading lap. 35 of 100 tonight in the final race 20 of Blaze Pizza and Friday Night Flights. We're still going to be broadcasting on Friday nights, but we will be lining back up the first week of June for a brand new series. Opening off at Dover. It'll be very interesting out there at Dover on that night. Travis Browder with a big move down in front of Wally Tierheimer. And there goes Travis Browder going for a ride. Wally Tierheimer just making that slight contact. Travis Browder staying below that yellow line, going to keep it out of trouble. But I tell you what, I can hear the disappointment in Travis Browder, but no fear, Travis Browder possibly will get her back onto that front line. But right now he is in no man's land without a partner in sight. Back up to the front, Wally Tierheimer getting the push from number 15 of Sean Molchek, side by side with number 33 of Robert Riley. Edward Bray making his way up to position 4 on lap 37. Edward Bray giving plenty of room onto the number 33 of Robert Riley. We've still got Fast Lane Racing sitting down on that inside lane in positions 2, 3, and 4 on the inside lane. Donald Stewart and the Boston Red Sox still hanging very tight with Edward Bray in a good spot with number 76 of Ronald Klein, side by side with the number 51 of Paul Cohen. Edward Bray doing a great job staying off of the rear end of the number 33 Robert Riley. Got to be very careful not to do the ooh, don't touch me there scare. Touch them in the wrong spot. They're going to go for a ride, and they're going to turn left. Jumping in the car with Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein keeping an awesome amount of space between him and the number 78. 78 pushing onto the rear end of Edward Bray. We preach to these drivers out here, folks, that if you are pushing on a truck that is pushing on a truck that is pushing on a truck, well, it's just not going to work out. You've got to give plenty of space out here. Down onto the nose cam of Paul Cohen. Very respectable distance off of Fast Lane Racing, number 24 at Everett Lane. Edward Bray all over the rear end of the number 33 of Robert Riley. Robert Riley driving a Tundra. Silverados, Tundras, they're all the same, or are they? Over to Sean Molchek, very tight up there with the number 57. Of Wally Tierheimer. Alrighty, Mom Tierheimer, that is what the rear end of Wally looks like when he's driving. Pushing that 3 wide, we will be 3 wide with lap traffic. Drivers making a very successful run past that lap traffic. Jeff Wren started 4th, currently in 15th. Back up to Joel Guy. Joel Guy currently is in 12th place. That is a ton of truck out there in front of Joel Guy. Joel Guy running a very solid race tonight knows that there will be possibly one more big one. Lap 41 of 159 laps to go. They're 3 wide up there in the front, folks. Robert Riley, the monkey in the middle. Robert Riley in a 3 wide situation there with the number 78 of Donald Stewart and Edward Gray on the outside lane. Paul Cohen, Yosemite Sam down on that inside lane. The number 33 of Robert into the middle. Looking like a lot of wiggling and jiggling going on up there. On to the side angle of Wally Tierheimer trying to help out his teammate Robert Riley. Paul Cohen down onto that inside, beginning to get a little bit of distance. Wally Tierheimer coming down to that inside lane with Robert Riley. Wally Tierheimer currently sitting out in position 8. Started in 3rd tonight though, dropping 5 spots almost to the halfway point. Drivers have settled down to double file racing. Edward Gray leading his first lap out here tonight at Talladega. Edward Gray leading 1 lap side and the nut back, ladies and gentlemen. And Blaze Pizza. $100 Stewart and Gray out there on that front line. On the climb, Dave Whiteside, Paul Cohen running out. Our top 5, Stephen Kelly, Sean Brown, Joel Guy, Ben Gibbs, Craig Kenny sitting back in position 10. But Craig Kenny is flying solo. Not a good thing to be doing out here at Talladega. Ben Beard, number 20, flying solo as well. Joel Guy started 25th, currently is in that 8th place position. Getting a little bit of help there from the number 146. Number 146 being driven by Jeff Lins. So Joel Guy and Jeff Lins still in a good position. Drivers need to be getting into that strategy mode with the fuel run. None of these drivers will make it to the end of tonight's race. They will need to pit at least one more time. And that will apply to the drivers that pitted underneath our last caution. 38 laps to a tank out here. 47 to go. We've had a long green flag run. Donald Stewart, Edward Gray should be thinking about going into pit row soon, but trying to hold out as long as possible. But I do not think that they have got 17 more laps of fuel in them. Donald Stewart leading his 7th lap of the night in a very good spot. Checking in on Wally. Wally in a good spot, running with maximum velocity teammates Robert Riley and the number 18 of Travis Browder. Now they are 41 seconds behind our race leader. Well, that tells me that they possibly did go into pit row. Interesting situation right there. Wally Tierheimer, Travis Browder, and Robert Riley possibly on a early pit strategy. That could work out to their advantage. Joel Guy in a very good spot, currently in 8th place. Wally Tierheimer working his best to get up there. Long way to go, but possibly having a little bit more fuel. Double foul action here with Joel Guy. Lane trying to make something happen out there on that outside line. Working with the number 16 And Joel Guy going into pit row, green flag pit stops. Edward Bray into pit row as well. Lots of pit row action right here, folks. Edward Bray, driving the number 66, currently is in third position into pit row for his round of green flag pit stops. No tires for the number 66 of Edward Bray, trying to get out there to the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Donald Stewart going to need to let up a little bit for Edward Bray. Last thing you want to do is be by yourself out here at Talladega. Ronald Klein, Edward Bray in very good positions 2 and 3. Now on this pit row strategy, they are going to need a tank and a half. So what they can actually do, they're on 56, go in, burn up half tank, go in on 70, top off, they'll be good to go. Or they can run this out until lap 76, go in, 56, 76, get a full tank right there. So they are actually in a very good position right here. Good move there by Edward Bray and Ronald Klein. Positions 1 and 2. Going to check up and try to see if they can get Donald Stewart onto the tail end. Donald Stewart trying to get up to the rear end of the number 76 of Ronald Klein. Checking in on the number 31 of Freeman Kelly. Pulling out of his green flag pit stop, Robert Riley sitting in fifth position with Wally and Travis Browder. Number 65 of Sean Brown, losing draft, needs to get working with the number 51 of Paul Cohen. Joel Guy near the rear, not anyone in sight to give him a hand. Checking in on Sean Molchuk, Everett Lane, and Kenneth Wright. Positions 10th, 11th, and 12th. Sean Molchuk started out tonight's race in first position, currently is in 12th. Everett Lane started in 10th, and the number 16 started off in 5th. So Fast Lane Racing making a good run out here on the swamp with the engine heat. Everett Lane will take point position. Checking in with our race leaders underway. Ronald Klein, number 78 of Donald Stewart. Wally Tierheimer being challenged by Robert Riley and number 18 of Travis Browder. Now Travis Browder, though, is one lap down. Travis Browder being a team player, working with his Max Velocity teammates, Wally Tierheimer and Robert Riley, with a Max V KMA 3-on-3. On lap 9 of 100. Riley driving Kenny. How about it, Craig Kenny? Have you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got yours.
All right. You have had a roller coaster ride out back lap until the court time pass him. Big action up here in the front. Lap 89 of 100. Ronald Klein, our race leader, battling hard against number 16 and Kenneth White 4 laps down. Interesting stuff developing right now. We have got lap down, side by side with lap leader, side by side with lap down. Albert Lane pushing all over the rear end of the number 16. Bray on that inside lane, pushing all over the rear end of the number 15 of Sean Molchek, 1 lap down. Wally Tierheimer in 4th place position. Lap 91 of 109 to go. 27 lead changes. 3 wide up in front. Travis Browder going into that 3 wide position.